What's it like being black in construction in the UK? I'm going to give my thoughts. This is a video which was quite requested because I feel that other people of other ethnicities are wondering what it's like. And you always got the curious cat out there as well. We know who you are. I see you watching. Right. I wanted to start this video off with obviously sense, innit? And sense would let me know that I need to do some research about statistics, yeah? So in 2002, yeah, so 5 years ago, there was only 2% of black people in construction, yeah, and the other 89% were white, yeah. So when we look at management roles, we look at the statistics as well, management and leadership. There is only 3.4 in construction who are in the UK that are of ethnicity or minority, yeah? That's 3.4, yeah? Let's always, I put the stats on the screen as well so you guys can see. There's only 1% of black senior management in senior positions. 1%. That is mad. But these are the statistics, man. These are the statistics. And I want to tell you, not only from the statistics, but from my own personal thoughts, that I've worked in the industry, like I said, for 20 years. And I've seen only account managers who are black, and even the person who was black at the time, they didn't have a clue what they were doing. I'm not going to lie to you. They didn't know what they were doing. But that doesn't exclude, like, just giving someone an opportunity. I think sometimes people are given opportunities out here, but the opportunities are rare, and it was a black woman as well. So that was even twice as weird to see that, because this is a predominantly male white industry, construction, right, in the UK. So to see a black woman get a job, for me, I'm like, yeah, kudos, man, well done you. But at the end of the day, you need to do a good job. So that's what I'm really there for. Even though I stand up that you're black, cool, but you need to do the job. If you're shit at the job, we're gonna say you're shit, and that person was shit anyway. I made a video about it as well. So yeah, when we look at the lack of young black males who are invested within role models when it comes to construction, that's going to be short as well, because we're only working off of 2% of people, innit? That's not a lot at all. So I guess people definitely do need a lot more role models when it comes to people who they can look up to or inspire to do business like, and possibly say to themselves, I would like a business like this person. So that's something that obviously needs to be worked on. So what's it really like being black in construction? It's often isolated, yeah? Predominantly white males are in the workplace, and you will feel oftenly that your work gets uncredited for what you do, and being involved within social things inside the workplace, it becomes non-existent. Just because there's this feeling of being unwelcome sometimes, and you feel that when there's a level of inclusion with the things which go on inside any workplace, whether it's social, whether it's conversation, or whether it's just like involving everyone. You know, I've seen it through third eye, if you get what I mean. I've stood back and I've looked, and I've seen how this group grow off and that group grow off, and then there's just one guy who's kind of a bit like a beg, just like wondering what social group to go with, because he doesn't know, innit? He doesn't know who's really going to accept him, and he might just find himself just one friend who he might just roll with at work all the time, and that might just be his guy. I've been like that. I just roll with like one person because it just makes it easier. Do you know what I mean? I work with them 99% of the time, so it's cool just to be around them, and they're black, so that's fine for me. You know, it's not to say that I haven't had any other mates, like workmates who are different ethnicities. Of course, I've had a Greek mate. I've had a... What country is he from? He's from... Let's say he's from Spain anyway. Like Argentina, that's where he's from as well. And so I've had quite a few different European friends from work and stuff like that. African as well. So, and Jamaican, Caribbean. And, you know, it's been a mixture, because when you kind of meet them people in those scenarios, because you're not going to meet a lot of them, you kind of hold on to those people because you go through the same things. I was going to say you possibly do, but you definitely know you go through the same things, whether it's the feeling of being included, the feeling of being involved in an industry which is all happening around you, and a lot of things are going off of favoritism. Who's the most liked person? Someone might not like you because they don't have friends like you, so therefore they think you can't fit into their friends group. Do you get it? It's an excluded pack which is meant for a certain types of people. And for anyone who has got any like common sense, you know, like you could see this from the outside and say, guess it is difficult. And that's why when I do see one or two black individuals who have been in construction, like someone who I met most recently has been in this same work environment for 10 years. And I was just like looking at him and thinking, how'd you do it? But what I realised was that he just does his thing. And that's what you got to do. Sometimes you got to just lock in and just do your thing and not watch other people, not give a fuck, basically. You know that you do your work, you get it done, you don't get no questions, no bad comments. It's all really good comments. And so there's nothing to say to you. So therefore, you can fully mind your business. And that's what I guess a lot of adults want to do when they get to a certain point. But for our younger individuals who have got more time on their hands to invest within their career with what they're doing, and have a longer life cycle than maybe like myself when it comes to pursuing management jobs or director jobs or whatever, they're looking at it from a different angle, because the workplace has already involved this type of culture within it, which is, it's white dominated. It's always going to go to white boys. I've seen a lot of young white men get like managers jobs, and I've said, you don't even know what you're talking about. It happened to me most recently, and they told me they were engineers and then they became managers, and I was like, oh, okay, that's weird, because obviously really good engineers don't really become managers, but you find that within construction because they don't want the hassle. They just want to stay where they are and not be bothered. But sometimes people have to move up. I don't know if that was the case, but from me having conversations with people just about work and solely about work, yeah, I realise they don't even know what they're talking about. So wafflers run the place, but there'll always be this boys group who will move like a little syndicate through work and get to the positions what they need to get to, while everybody else gets fuck all. And that's just how it is, you know. So I guess a lot of people have their own plan on what they're going to do for themselves, in a sense of their direction. Like my direction can't really just solely be focused inside the workplace, because you can do that for so long, and then what have you been doing for yourself? And I feel that there's times when you can pour your energy into something which is self-driven and self-motivated by yourself, which might actually be worth more than what you're doing at the moment. So that's happened to me a few times when it comes to building my social media platform and some of the things what I've been doing. Even when I'm inside the workplace and I know that I'm somebody, people would make you feel like you're not somebody or you don't belong. And for what reason? The reason is maybe because they don't like you, maybe because you're black and they don't have much black mates, so therefore they don't know how to identify as if black is so left, or the things what they see online and all that. That's cool. Again, like, I'm not a person that watches the news and stuff like that, so I don't care about stuff like that. I just live in the real world where things happen, and I hear about things myself. You know, obviously I do check things on social media. I wouldn't be so oblivious not to be like that. And I do check stuff if I need to see something, if I heard something from someone, find out myself. That's what type of person I am as an individual. You know, and I just feel that everybody isn't going to have a smooth sailing time. Do you get it? Some young black people getting into construction, they're going to have to learn the ropes very hard, and people are going to make you know it in a way which seems like they're teaching you a lesson. Like, example, I've had a black manager before, and he was very aggressive while speaking to me and saying, "Oh, you was smoking a cigarette." I don't actually smoke, so that's crazy. My friend was smoking, who I was standing with, but I don't smoke personally. So I was like, "That's crazy you would say that, because I don't even smoke." And he was like, "Yeah, I saw you." And I said, "What? You could ask this other person I'm with, was I smoking? Yes or no?" "No, he doesn't smoke." So how was I smoking then? And all I was asking for was my apology, because you was actually wrong with your accusation of me saying something. And because that person had or had been through, he's got alopecia, so he was like very, I don't know if that made him very aggressive, but he was very aggressive at the time, and I thought there's no need for that. And long story short, he happened to know my mum. He went to school with my mum, so we went to a 9 nights one time, and I see him, and I said to my mum, "That's this person that spoke to me like this way. You know, you need to let him know that I'll box him, you know, because he was rude, but you don't need to be rude." And I said, "If I see you another time, it's another time. We're not in the workplace anymore," you know. And that, even as I think about it now, is a bad attitude for me to have towards someone. Obviously, I didn't do that. That didn't happen, but he did apologise in the utmost way. But I had to let him know, I don't accept your apology, because at the time I told you that I don't do that, and I didn't do that, and he still didn't believe me. I don't know why. I don't know why you think I would be at a job lying about something like that, and you take it so seriously to the point where you feel it's time to shout at me, which, you know, I just didn't respect that. And obviously when I got my comeback, which was him saying sorry, and then a couple of other people spoke to him as well, it didn't look good for him, innit? But again, that's one interaction what I've had with a black manager, and he might have just took his job just way too seriously as an individual. And again, it might have been a bad day for him. I'm not really sure. But one thing I'm sure of is that when people give you the opportunity to apologise or say something or correct your wrongs and do them right, this is the time. You might not get another time. You know, time is not promised to anybody. I think everybody knows that by now in life, that the time what you have is crucial, isn't it? You know, it's like, why spend your time fighting everyone when you can come to an agreement and come to a mutual understanding, which is you was wrong. And after a while I accepted his apology, you know, like he's a weird individual as a person, you know. I didn't like that. And again, I seen him again after, and he tried to say sorry and all that, and he's like, "Oh, you know," like I said, like, "Look, we'll just leave it, innit, because you didn't need to do that, and the fact that I had to show you, and the fact that you understood that, see, the black community, sometimes it can be wide, stretched. I'm from a different era where my parents, they know a lot of people, so I can come across someone and my mum could be like, "Yeah, I went to school with this person, I know that person." And that's happened to me many a times, because I wasn't working far from where I was living, and that's the area where he's from. Make it make sense. He didn't know that, but he found out very quickly. But that's just one instant which you might have just like internally, like within having a black manager, because it isn't always the best option sometimes. And I've found that, yeah, some other supervisors have been dickheads and stuff like that. And I've not always tried to go to, is it my race or is it something about what I'm doing? It might have been other things, like timing. I used to be late sometimes to work and all that. So obviously people get upset about them types of things. So only when I've grown up quite a bit, the last couple, I've just been on time all the time, because there's nothing to talk to me about when it comes to time. There's nothing to talk to me when it comes to me about the job, because I'm more than able to do it. I'll always be informative. I'll always be punctual. I'll always reply to emails. I stay on the ball because I know that these people are watching me more than they're watching someone else. It's a fact. I can see them within their eye, how many, you done 6 jobs, this person done 7 jobs. Oh, okay, well, he's doing more than the average person who's here as well, so there's not a lot to say to him. I don't know what you want me to bring him in about. We need to speak about this. Okay, but that's something what you've made up just now. And again, I'm not an unreasonable person, because I feel that sometimes society feels that a lot of young black men have an attitude, and your attitude you have to leave at home when you're going to work, innit? You're just a normal person, innit? We're all civilians just trying to make money. That's all it is. Nothing else. But what happens is work culture starts to take a place, which is the banterish jokes. Man talking to you about black people, and I remember being on a site one time, and a guy goes to me, he was from up north, and he goes to me, what, do you know Dizzy Rascal and all that? Why would I know Dizzy Rascal? He's another black man. Of course I don't know him. And what purpose does it take on us doing this work and you being an electrician? You want a picture of him or something? This is what I had to work out in my head, but there's times when I've said to myself, don't snap. Just play in. Just play. Because this boy is a donut. And I wish for a lot of those times I was recording and I hit record. But there's this thing which I think about now, which is not putting people out there, but explaining the story for context so others can understand, which I feel is the beauty of telling a story, innit? And the story always is going to be, you have to protect yourself as a young black man, or any black man within construction. People want you to start at the bottom and never rise up. That's the truth. Your position is under threat more time, because for some reason within the media and social, people think that black people are lazy. I couldn't tell you where people get that from. Your work ethic, might come from some of the things which you've seen as a child. One thing I can always say as a young black man is that I see my dad go to work every day. Every day. I mean, I rarely see my dad take breaks. He doesn't even get sick. It's different. Do you get it? And that obviously would inspire me to get up and do stuff, and to get up and do the same, because I realised even in my own head when I was younger, we got BMWs, we got big cars outside. We might have a bit of money, And as I've got older, I've realised obviously about finances and things like that, and I've thought to myself, do you know what? We're not in the position that some of you lot are in right now, who are talking the hardest or talking like you've got it in life when your credit card bills are maxed out, the mortgage is due, a lot of things are in the red, which, it can happen to anybody, but they be some of the people who are willing to judge and say shit straight away, who ain't got their shit in place. And that's who you kind of battle with on a day-to-day, because those people are kind of out to kind of prove themselves to you that they are somebody within this working environment. And that holds you back, man. What holds you back is the fact of, and people understand this who have been in it for long enough, is being a young black man, bringing your nice car to work. If you do have one, someone will say, oh my God, we're paying you too much money. I've heard that time and time again. I've heard, don't bring your car to work because they'll be jealous. Big man, I'm not living in that time, and I've lived through that time. And you know what? If that's the case, so be it then, innit? Because options is what life gives you, innit? People give you opportunities. Do you get it? So look at all of these things. Ask yourself, where can you be more resourceful? There is no perfect workplace for us as young black men or older black men. There's no perfect workplace. There is none. There's equality when they feel like it, and inequality when you're working. So it's just something that's stuck with me, because I know other people who definitely should be in higher positions than what they are, but they get given the lower positions because people are probably afraid of the influence what they might have on others to be able to start changing things around totally. And I've seen that through academic jobs. I've seen that while working in FE colleges, training centres. I've also seen it while working for big or fairly big maintenance companies. You know, like when you look at who's in charge or the tree of command, the chief inspector, the CEO, the person what does the health and safety, all white people. Again, they'll put whoever they want up on the banner. You know, you see a lot of these maintenance companies advertising, and you see their banner looking very multicultural, you know, multicultural, as if like they're really shopping in the Tesco's aisle, which is multicultural. No, they're not. They're not. They're just trying to hook you with a hook because they need a certain amount of people, yeah, to sign up from a different demographic to say that we do balance it out. And it's not balanced out. As you can see, 2% is fuck all. I'm not trying to say everyone run to being in construction because it's mad money and it's a hard time. It's a hard time if you're not a person. If you're a person that can just shut up here and never express your emotions and think some of these things go on but never act upon them and say, oh, do you know what it is that, you know, you're a different breed of person. Because the way I've went through it time and time again in different scenarios as well, it's just made me think and obviously question myself at points, you know, about my mannerism, what I say to people, and maybe a little bit of my attitude as well, you know, because nobody's got a perfect attitude. I try to do my best. I try to act as professional as I can. I do some jokes with people who I know, but I don't joke with people who I don't know, period. And I don't be talking about my life too much because at the end of the day, it's none of your business. And I don't care to know more about other people. It doesn't make me standoffish. If someone's talking to me about their life or whatever, I listen. You know, I ask general questions. You know, I won't ask super personal questions because there's no need for me to, because we're not friends. You know, it's just the workplace, and you got to identify that, because sometimes people are and they will use you as the token black guy. A lot of people are that person inside a lot of scenarios when it comes to work. Oh, you know Jermaine, big Jermaine from. No, I don't. I've heard someone say that to me one time when I turned up to a site. They goes to me, oh, you know Jermaine. No, I don't. Why would I know Jermaine? I've just turned up here. But I get what they were trying to say straight away. So I said, all right, listen, see all that? It's not with me. You do that with someone else, innit? Like, because I'm not playing that with anybody. Like, I stand up for myself and I stand up for no nonsense. And if you want, go outside, innit? We can talk about it, innit? But there's only one person that's going to come back inside, innit? And it's not going to be you. You have to be the protector of your feelings and how people view you. because a lot of these people are going to villainize you with stuff which goes on in the media which has nothing to do with you. You know, you're a 9-to-5 person, so you're not interested in the street life or slapping someone up at work. You're just interested in working. And that becomes difficult because people relate what they see on TV or online, all the bad stuff, with yourself, and don't ever go and search any of the really good stuff, which is obviously still related to you. Again, people pick and choose, innit? They pick and choose who they like, but it's generally a culture which is not to be liked so much within construction, as you can see from the statistics, which is, the statistics are just numbers, innit? They can all be changed within a couple of years with a good level of young people coming through and fucking up the game, changing everything, making sure that they get the right jobs, making sure that the younger generation is, the way they negotiate with things is going to be a lot different to my generation, you know, and the older generation. So business is going to have to change 10 times to even keep up. And I'm glad I'll be here to see it, because it'll be nice to see a change, and a swift change as well. I'm not trying to say black people are going to start taking over construction. I'm trying to say that number is going to have to be widened by a long way, because there are so many young people. And I've seen it teaching in colleges and stuff like that, what the ratio of like black to white is. And there are a lot of young black males who are interested in plumbing, construction, trades and stuff like that. So it'd be good to see them with that qualifications working and actually doing what they were set out to do, which is, some of them will make a difference, you know, and it will encourage others to do it as well. So even if it is the beginning of your journey and you're just thinking, what's it really like? My views and my opinions, I've grown up in a different time to other people. I'm in my 30s now, but I can remember what it was like even for my first day at my first plumbing job, which I worked for, which I done my apprentice for. No one was funny towards me at the firm what I worked for, because my uncle was the manager. And even at that time, I wasn't having shit from people anyway. I remember having a little conversation with someone, and they were like, I don't know, just kind of testing me. And I don't know if it was testing me because I was new, but testing me was in saying, oh, you do all that karate stuff, innit? And I obviously do judo, so karate is, it's a dig. I get it. Oh, do you do all that? You know what I mean? Like I bet I could take you down. And I was just like, okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to throw you and I'm going to put you on top of him. And I've done that to the guys just to show them that I'm not the person for you to be playing with, you know, any day. So let's stop all that stuff. You're just regular people. We're just at work. But I'm a black belt and I'll leave you on the floor. And I will do that. And I held them both down on the floor, 2 grown men on top of each other. How they felt, I don't know. It's never happened to me before. But I know they didn't feel good about it, but they always remember it. And anytime we speak, they know Jay's not a person to be played with. And you should know that as well. But I differ from what I'm supposed to be saying to you guys. They're the things which I've kind of like went through over my career, which has kind of like made me think to myself, you know what, it's been difficult. Again, I'm not a person that gives up very easily as well. So I never want any of you lot to give up on your dream if you want to be in construction, even though you've heard this video, because how life has planned out for myself might not be the same for you. It might be a lot better. You might have pleasant things to say. I also have a lot of pleasant things to say about construction. It's not all downers. It's just that those key things definitely do play a role. And when you do think about moving up, making more money, it is a bit of a struggle, because again, you have to be overly qualified to do the same job which people are underqualified to do, or not even qualified to do, because there are many people who are not qualified to do something and they just get a job because this person's their mate and I've known this person for that long. That happens so much in construction, where it's all about who you know. And that is the case when it comes to us as an industry. But us as young black people and black men, we can build our own little connection industry where we start talking and connecting with each other and helping people actually get jobs and putting them into places. I recently linked up with someone where I'm just about to start doing that. So the space will be a lot easier, and hopefully we can get something going and get some people through and get them qualified and working as well. That's the end goal, is working, getting a full-time job, working and qualified. If you've enjoyed this video and it's made sense to you and it's made you think, you know, this is real life talk, this is me, what I've been through, and you've enjoyed it, I would ask you to subscribe to the channel, because this content is nothing but real. I just tell the honest truth, innit? This is what it's like being black, working in construction. Let's get it.